Okay, FM 101.7.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your listeners.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation or our call to speak with us on the subject Ghana, South Africa bilateral relationship is going to be deepened, and as a result, Ghana has been added to the list of countries that South Africa is waiving visa of, including Qatar, United Arab Emirates, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Cuba, and Sao Tome and Principe. Now, a lot of people are saying that we've heard this news before and nothing has changed. How true is this announcement that the South Africa Department of Home Affairs is granting visa free to Ghana?
Actually, if I may correct that, what the minister said after naming the countries that you just named, the very next line says we will immediately enter into discussions with these countries about how a visa-free regime will work. So yes, last year, if you remember, the former Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Gidano, did mention that Ghana was amongst the countries with which we want to have a visa-free regime. Now, this was a repetition of the same intention that we mentioned last year, but now we are saying we would want negotiations to begin in earnest on how this regime will work.
There are a lot of South African companies or businesses in Ghana: MTN, Telecoms, Standard Bank, Goldfield, Submailer, Woolworth Engine, High Tech Engineering, MultiChoice, Alliance Media, Stanbic, ShopRite, Checkers, Sherwood, CS, South African Airlines operating in Ghana, Anglo Gold Ghana, just to mention a few, and even the Submailer Group or Accra Brewery Limited, as we popularly call them. What is this visa-free waiver, if it should happen, going to bring to South Africa, and why that decision?
No, look, you will be aware that the Continental Free Trade Area will be operational. And by the grace of God, Ghana will be hosting the Secretariat of the Continental Free Trade Area. One of the issues of the sectors that we want to promote is intra-African trade and also tourism in Africa. So this regime is intended to smooth the path for tourism, the tourists who want to go to South Africa. Over the years, we have seen a steady increase of tourists from Ghana going to South Africa. In the past year, I would imagine it was just over 26% increase in Ghanaians going to South Africa for tourism. So I think it will also help the Ghanaian tourists who want to go there for tourism, and also business people who want to travel to South Africa for business. So it will make traveling to South Africa quite easy. But may I take this opportunity to say this? The minister was alluding to a need to commence negotiations. Now, all these negotiations will be dealt with through diplomatic channels. As soon as the agreement is reached, that accord will stipulate all relevant issues with regard to what should happen, who qualifies how, and when does the agreement come into force. And then later, at an appropriate time, after the signing of the accord, then an official announcement will then be made so that both Ghanaians and South Africans understand in detail what the agreement means.
So, if I understand you very well, this announcement is an intention which will have to go through some diplomatic process.
Exactly. We have said ourselves that we want these countries that we have mentioned to have a visa-free regime. But then we need to sit down with the authorities in Ghana through diplomatic channels. The relevant authorities will sit down have discussions, iron out issues, scope and all, and then they will sign, and then there will be an agreement. You see, I think the mistake happened when I was looking at the report. The report was saying Ghana now does not need visas, and that is not the case. The status quo remains until an agreement has been reached between the two grantees, the two countries, or has been finalized by the two countries.
Okay, so we'll be speaking with the Parliamentary Select Committee Chairman on Foreign Affairs. And I know that when all the diplomatic channels are exhausted, a bill will come to Parliament, and he will be one of the leading, technical persons in Parliament to come out with their resolution, or as it were, concerns of how this visa waiver can be effected. But back on the announcement, two sub-Saharan African countries were mentioned, Ghana and Sao Tome and Principe, among the 7 countries that the Home Affairs Minister announced yesterday. Qatar, United Arab Emirates, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Cuba, then Sao Tome and Principe, and Ghana. One will ask, Sao Tome and Principe is a small island, a small country that has about 120,000 up to 150,000 people. So how did you arrive at that decision, considering other strong West African countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, the most populous country in West Africa? Why would you settle on this tiny, small country, other than the big countries that can also influence your tourism numbers or arrivals?
I think the same question could be asked, why do we begin with Ghana and not Cote d'Ivoire? The same question could be asked, why Sao Tome and not the Reunion or any other island nation? The issue is that we have to start somewhere, and we have chosen Ghana and Sao Tome and Principe. But earlier, in the statement that was issued by the former minister, a number of other African countries were included in that statement. So suffice it to say, when we say we shall begin, we must begin somewhere. And if we are beginning with Ghana, by the grace of God, it will begin with Ghana.
Now, today, if you go to our supermarkets and our fast chain, shops, you find South Africa products, South Africa businesses, as I indicated earlier. What would you say has accounted to that deepening, economic bilateral trade between Ghana and South Africa?
Now, when you're talking about the South African element, I was at a business meeting the other day, and I was saying, Ghana is rich with culinary diversity. Be it food, be it, especially the food that you're having here. There's a large variety. Your banku, your kelewele, your red, to mention but a few. And I'm saying, you find that there is actually a market also in South Africa. And I was saying, I'm looking forward to the day when such items are not just sold in select stores, but become mainstream, and people get to sample the Ghanaian and African delicacy in our country. So here we have access because there is a market, and people are enjoying the type of items that we are selling to Ghana.
So, Your Excellency, how soon would this diplomatic negotiation and legislation of the visa waiver is going to take place? How soon?
It would be presumptuous of me to set or even guess what the time frames will be. It will entirely depend on the speed with which agreements are met. It can be 5, 6 months, a year. I will not speculate. Even my saying this really is maybe putting some time frame to it. I should simply say that I cannot speculate, but we want, as South Africa, to see this matter concluded speedily.
Effective 1st July this year, Ghana and Jamaica has also waived visa off for these two countries. And then His Excellency the President announced this when he visited the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica. What would you say this announcement is going to bring to, two countries? South Africa want to waive visa for Ghana. What has been the reaction, the response from South Africans who also want to come to Ghana?
Look, I think it will be the same as with any other African who wants to travel or to have his travel through the African continent eased. Ghanaians want to travel to South Africa, South Africans want to travel to Ghana, and so forth. We want to see our continent. It is a travesty that one would be looking forward to visiting countries outside the continent when everything that you can wish to have, we have in this continent. So when we're talking about intra-Africa trade and strengthening economic ties between our countries, it means that ease of travel, whether it's for business or for pleasure, should be facilitated. And I believe that the South Africans would want to travel to Ghana much the same way as Ghanaians want to travel to South Africa.
Your Excellency, on the lighter side, if you had announced Nigeria as one of the African benefactors of the visa waiver, probably they would have relaxed the game with you yesterday for you to beat them to advance to the next stage of the competition. But anyway, sorry for your defeat.
I don't want to remind you of what Tunisia did the other day, so I will remember.
You're right. So, I mean, we both sympathize with each other.
Yes, I sympathize with you for what Tunisia did. And Nigeria, I think we left it. When you are ahead and they see you wobbling around the street with an injury, all you have to say is you must see the other guy. So we're also saying you must see the other guy.
I'd like to commend the South African High Commission, especially yourself and the High Commissioner and the Commercial Attaché, for deepening the trade relation between Ghana and South Africa. South Africa has helped Ghana in immense ways, so much, from gold mining, from FMCG, fast-moving consumable goods, drinks and what have you, supermarkets, our shopping malls, a lot. You've contributed to the growth of Ghana's economic stability that we are currently enjoying. So we want to thank you, and we can't wait to have this diplomatic relation visa waiver coming into force for Ghanaians to go to South Africa freely, easily, the way they go to Dubai, which has become one of the biggest source market for Ghanaians who want to have a holiday vacation. Absolute
and
pleasure.
Allow me also to say thank you to Ghana and the people of Ghana for the sterling role that they've played. You are our firstborn here in Africa. We always look at you with admiration because of the invaluable contribution that you made towards the emancipation of this continent. Famously, one of your famous sons once said that your freedom will be meaningless unless it is attached to the total emancipation of the continent. Paraphrasing, of course, but all the people of Africa know and appreciate and will forever remain grateful to Ghana's Pan-Africanist stance.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Deputy High Commissioner of South Africa to Ghana, His Excellency Mr. T. Madumani, for speaking with us on the announcement that Ghana has been added to a list of 7 countries who will soon have visa waiver to go to South Africa by the Department of Home Affairs. Seeing this coming into reality. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Your Excellency.
Only a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Welcome. 44.
Okay, FM 101.7.